Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of Repressed Humor Issues. I'm Ryan.
And I'm the guy that's surprised we made it to episode 6.
Yeah, or better known by Dan.
Uh,
So, thank
if they don't know by now, do they need to know? I mean, if they're not listening to every single episode religiously on the non-scheduled rate that we put these things out, do you think that they need to know that I'm Dan?
fair, but yes.
Okay, so Ryan, I'm going to start out today. You told me about something that I thought was a good idea to bring up.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to let you tell the story, and then I'll tell you my
Oh.
response to this. So go ahead and start telling about your California dreaming.
Oh, come on. All right, okay. So, many of you do or don't know, I'm 40, so young. But I didn't.
I thought you were
Oh,
57.
fuck off. But you don't really know your age until you decide to go to an amusement park after the age of 39, so 40. Went out to California and went to Knott's Berry Farm, which is a place I've never been, but holds, I believe, the record for the most roller coasters in one park in the US. Awesome. But this was a lesson of how old I actually am. So, went on one roller coaster. It was fine. It was great, actually. Exhilarating. Exciting. It was a wooden roller coaster. Went really fast. Walked off, felt good. Went on roller coaster number 2. Something shifted in the ether.
Something shifted in your bowels, is what you're saying.
Well, this was like my stomach dropped a little bit, for sure. And this was the one where your legs are suspended, out, and you're going through loops and corkscrews and whatnot. Uh, and got off the ride, and I was like, "Whew, I don't feel so great. Maybe I should go get something to eat." But this was one of those that I actually had to grab on to something for a second just to regain my senses because I was a little dizzy. And this, you see where this is going. We kept going and going and going and going. We got to hit all the rides, all the rides, all the rides. Then my better half had the lovely idea to go on a non-roller coaster idea, which sounds like the right action in the moment. We went on something called Soul Spin. Now, if anyone knows Knott's Berry Farm, this is a ride that not only goes up and down and around, but the individual arms also go up and down and also spin you a different direction, round and round, which is like you're lurching forwards while the whole thing's spinning around in circles while it's lifting up and your individual arms lifting up and down. I almost lost every bit of my I almost exorcised all the demons, if you will, after that ride. Got off, stumbled, almost fell to a knee, and I have not been the same since.
So also realize not very firm. It is not a good idea to call every day free all you can eat burrito day. Because that's just not going to work. I caught Brian in the middle of taking a drink when I said that.
I was really close to dousing this mic with water, and it is not a waterproof mic.
So after Ryan told me the story, what was the 3 words that I said that described what you went through?
Oh, please regale me.
You don't remember? I decided that we were calling this episode Knott's Berry Harm.
Yes, no, that's right.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because the harm that it did to Ryan's body and his mind. If you could see him right now, he's sweating. He's trembling a little bit. His right eye is flickering.
Yeah.
I can't tell if the eyebrow thing is the normal eyebrow thing or, oh God, don't do that. You realize I can see that and you still do it.
But
Oh,
you're right though.
anyways,
This is like a traumatic recall at this point. Like overall, great day, beautiful Christmas decorations, all that kind of stuff. The rides got me. I don't think I'm built for amusement parks anymore, and that is a little soul crushing. Um, will I learn my lesson? No, no.
no,
I'm going to be at an
you never
amusement
do.
park next year.
5 years ago, I went to a county fair, which, if you want to know about true peril, go to a county fair, ride the rides at a county fair. Um, there was one of my neighbor's kids wanted to go on the Velocitron. It's the one that spins really fast. That sometimes the floor falls out below you because you're stuck to
The
the
wall,
padding
yeah.
that you're on. And brilliant me in my mid 40s decided what I was going to do was, after it got going, I was going to turn upside down because you can get stuck hard enough that you get turned upside down.
What?
I nearly passed out as the blood drained out of my brain nearly instantaneously. It took every ounce of concentration I had to get myself out of that position. And I see the guy that's in the middle just laughing at me like crazy because he must see this on a regular basis. I mean, I'm sure he's also the guy that has to get out the hose to be able to hose down the ride after some of the kids are on it, when they have free burrito night at the county
Oh, it's
fair.
funnel cake night. It's funnel cake night at the county fair.
I've eaten a funnel cake once. Fair food doesn't do it for
Oh
me.
no, 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 no.
Fair food is atrocious for me. Even the state fair here, they've tried to bring in a Putin vendor, and it's just horrible. They cannot do it justice. But I have enough issues with my OCD about food. You get me to a fair, and I would rather go hungry than eat anything that's at the fair.
Well, I'll be honest. Like we did a fair down in San Antonio, and we went on one of those crazy rides that you lose any sense of direction for which way you're going. And then afterwards, it's one of those scenarios where, for whatever reason, you're not sick, you're not woozy, you're incredibly hungry, like voracious hunger. It's like your body has been spun to a new oblivion and you found new compartments to add food to. So we did that, but it was a crawfish county fair, I guess, or crawdad. I don't know what you call them, mud bug. Um, but
I call them disgusting.
but yeah, yeah, but we ate like 2 pounds of them afterwards because it was like that's what sounded good. Wrong,
The,
wrong decision.
there is You work for a company that the first time that I worked there, they had a crawdad party for certain people that were in the office at that point. Well, we went to somebody's house that no longer works there, and they didn't bother telling me beforehand that it was all crawdads. And I ate crackers and cheese the entire time because that's all that I could get. Watching those people just pull those things apart to get to the good part, it was utter hell to
You
me.
know, I have never got to experience one of those parties yet, and it seems like I always go over there at the wrong time of year. So it's unfortunate.
Oh no, this was in the US. It was interesting.
Oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh. I mean, I've had a
Yeah.
crawfish boil at my house before, but I survived.
Okay. Well, so what you're saying is I can never go to your house.
It's not like I do it every day.
No, but it's happened there, and I know that it's happened there. So that little mud bug is now implanted in my brain. It's associated with your
Well, to be
house.
fair, I don't live in that house any longer. That was back in my
Yeah.
Kansas days. Yeah.
Okay. Clown college. Got it.
Well, it's as they say, it's dust in the wind. Uh, uh, uh,
Oh.
uh,
And once again, Ryan proves that his sense of humor is nobody else's sense of humor.
Ayo.
Okay, Ryan. So who's our sponsor today, or our wannabe sponsor?
Ooh, I forgot.
Well, now we're talking about holidays. We're talking about Christmas. Who else could be our sponsor besides Toys R Us?
Oh, yes, yes, thank you. Oh, Toys R Us. My gosh. I still know the theme song by heart.
There's a theme
Yeah.
song?
Do you want me to sing it?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. I don't wanna
I'll
grow
tell you
up.
what.
I'm a
I'll,
Toys R Us kid. There's million toys in
oh,
Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to planes to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. I don't wanna grow up, 'cause if I did, I wouldn't be a I don't wanna grow up. You wanna grow up. I wanna be a Toys R Us kid. Yeah.
so we now know why Ryan failed out of clown college.
Because I spent too much time in Toys R Us.
Because you thought it was a good idea to implant that memory of that song in your brain and take other pieces of. So Toys R Us, we love your theme song. Honestly, we do. It's all Ryan's rendition that we don't like. So please sponsor us. It's Christmas time. The kids need toys. Come give us a sponsorship, and we'll make sure that Jeffrey is always remembered.
Oh, Jeffrey. Oh, I forgot about
Yes,
Jeffrey. Oh,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
Man, I hunted for his Funko Pop for a long time when I used to be into those, and then that's when I found out that Toys R Us went out of business. That's how I found out.
that's how you found
That's
it.
how I found out.
You didn't read the
Nope.
news. You just figured out there was no Funkos
Yeah, I was like,
anymore.
"Oh, weird. Toys R Us is closed down now. There's no Funko Pop here. Interesting." I don't
Well,
know what that
so
voice was. I'm so sorry.
this leads perfectly into our theme today, which is holiday horror stories. Listening to you for the last 2 minutes has been a horror story. So,
Yep.
so what we're gonna do? I'm lucky for in terms of Christmas, in terms of holidays. I don't have any real bad stories. So we're gonna talk about some other stories that we found on the internet that are pretty bad. But first of all, Ryan is going to explain his personal holiday horror story.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to give a little bit of a family dynamic background. So on my mother's side, we had a pretty large family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, everyone that would show up, and we all pack into this tiny little, I don't know, 1,600 square foot house, and would all be in the front room, surrounded. And it was actually kind of special in that we'd walk in, and there'd be 10 presents for every single person, and I'm talking roughly 35 to 40 people. So it was a room full of presents, but that's not the awkward part. The awkward part was um, I my mother has two brothers, and one brother, they're both fantastic. I appreciate them now. At the time, I did not. One of my uncles is a fully trained shaman priest, certified and everything like that.
Oh,
Now,
hold on, hold on,
yeah,
hold on, hold on,
I
hold
know.
on.
This is
You're just gonna move on from that, like you could just say
nope.
that, and then everybody's going to accept it, and we're going to keep on moving
I
forward.
told you I wasn't going to tell you for a reason. I wanted your real reaction to this.
How does somebody become a real shaman?
He went to an actual Indian reservation and actually got, I guess, ordained, and went through classes to become an actual Indian shaman priest, where he
Interesting.
would do blessings for trees that were about to be cut down. Real story. Um, but in this moment, this Christmas, it was strange. He came up to
So before you move too far, I just have to ask: was he disappointed that you flunked out of con college?
No, he was actually in the same class as me. So he also flunked out. We flunked out together.
You ruined the joke. You
I
just
know.
ruined the
Oh,
joke.
you're
Yeah.
so
Okay, go on
yeah,
with your
yeah, yeah.
story. I'll stop
No, no,
interrupting.
no, no. You're fine. This is good. I wanted your reaction. So anyway, he approaches my dad and I, and this is like in the midst of opening gifts, and it's pandemonium everywhere around us because no one waited turns because there's just too many people. And he comes up to my dad and I. Now, my dad does not really care for this guy because he thinks he's like beyond hippie and he's not willing to interact with that. My uncle's also one of the most opinionated people that knows every fact about everything in his own way. Bear that in mind. Anyway, he comes up to my dad and I, and he was like unfurls his hands and holds each of them out. And there's two rocks. It's kind of like red pill, blue pill for the Matrix, but with fucking rocks. And he goes, "You see these rocks? They represent your soul. Feel them. If one is cold, you're dead inside. If the other one's hot, you're on fire and your life is going to be vibrant or some shit like that. So my dad begrudgingly touches one of the stones and he's like, it's cold. He's like, you just don't believe. And then he storms off. My uncle just storms off. And my dad and I are just sitting there staring at each other while there's actual Christmas going on around us with the tree and all the traditional shit. And then we have my shaman priest uncle who's in Indian garb, leather clad outfit, moccasins probably, trying to tell us that stones are hot or cold and our souls are dead or on fire for, I don't know. That's my Christmas horror story.
So, was he on loan from the village people?
Oh, I guess I did kind of describe that, didn't I?
Yes. When you said that, that's the first thing that came to mind. My God, he's a village person. I mean, come on. How could that ruin Christmas?
I guess it makes more sense now.
Ryan's reevaluating all those life
Yeah.
choices in this meeting, realizing I should have just been saying YMCA to the guy.
I mean, and no one can see my face, but you, Dan, saw you were like seeing me contemplate everything in that
Oh
moment.
yeah,
I,
that big look in your eyes, like, oh my God,
yeah, like,
now it all makes sense. So So I'm going to read you some holiday horror stories and I'm just going to get your reaction to them. You told me not to do this, and this is purely by accident. Every time I looked up holiday horror stories, it always came back to Florida. So it's not intentionally the Florida man holiday horror
all
stories,
right, all right,
but it
all
is.
right, okay,
So,
okay.
and my first one, I just love this one because there's just no way to understand how you get to this point. But there's a guy in Central Florida named Richard Daniel Atchison. He's from Fruitland Park. He was arrested because his wife asked him to come help with dinner, and while he was helping, she threw a spoon into the sink and it splashed him, and he lost all sense of reality. And of all the things that he could possibly hit his wife with, and I'm not making fun of domestic violence here, believe me, I don't believe in that. But of all the things that he could use to hit his wife, he grabbed the Christmas tree and beat his wife with
The
it.
whole
He did get arrested, thank God. But literally, can you imagine just grabbing the Christmas tree by one end and beating somebody with it?
ornaments just flying everywhere, tinsel.
Oh, I'm just imagining, if it's a fake tree and it's one of those cheap fake trees, there's going to be limbs flying off everywhere. Everything's going to come loose from
I
that.
mean, those needles have to
Now,
be like pulverizing. Those things are razors.
oh yeah, yeah. Now, he did admit that alcohol was involved.
No shit.
So at least we have an explanation
No
why.
shit.
But what this means is be careful when putting spoons into the kitchen sink when there's a Christmas tree nearby. That's the lesson we all have to learn.
So kitchen sink spoons equal beating with a Christmas tree. Got it. I'll watch
Yes.
myself. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That now tell me, could that happen anywhere else besides Florida? Probably, but it happened in Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Montana. I don't know, but
Yeah. So, this next one is about Richard Ellis Spurrier, and it's just a coincidence that everybody that I've talked about so far has three names. That's just what's in the story. But he also happens to live in Florida, and
what?
he has this wonderful thing on his record because he decided that he was going to hand out pot on Christmas. And when the police came to bust him because he was handing it out to kids, his excuse for handing out pot was, but it's Christmas. And that's all that he could say.
I I love his rationale. I
Yeah.
kudos. This is a good rationale.
Now, both of these guys, you have to realize you have to go look these guys up because they both look like they're supposed to be on the terror watch list. One looks like Ted Kaczynski, the
Yeah,
Unabomber.
yeah, yeah.
Good old reference there. And the other one, he looks like a combination of Lou Diamond Phillips and Charles Manson. It's just
Oh.
you got to see it to believe it. Yeah, you thought Lou Diamond Phillips. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that? Why did he come up with that? And then I add Charles Manson into it, and you start understanding what's going
Yeah. And then
on.
add
Another
Florida.
moment where another moment where Ryan just gets that blank look in his eyes, like, oh.
I mean, there was a very, like, I don't know, Lou Diamond Phillips, for whatever reason, I got a very clear picture of him, and then I instantly, for whatever reason, my brain was able to put Charles Manson and Lou Diamond Phillips together very quickly, and it was not a good outcome.
Anybody with Charles Manson is not a good outcome. Think of somebody that would be a good outcome with Ted
Nope,
Kaczynski.
nope. Honey Boo Boo.
No.
Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, we can't do Honey Boo Boo. You have to bring this up. Honey Boo Boo's sister died this week.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
How could you be more culturally insensitive than to bring up Honey Boo Boo in that
I
minute?
don't even know what news medium I would have to troll to find that.
It was on Google News. I don't know how my algorithm pulls that out, but Mama June lost her daughter to cancer this week. They
Oh.
they knew she was slowly getting worse, and then I believe it was last Friday. It just hit the point where Saturday they were posting about her passing.
Oh, well,
So
that's
sorry, Honey Boo Boo. I apologize for Ryan. He does not know what he's saying most of the
well,
time. I edit out 90% of what he says, anyways. So
it's for the best. It's
yeah.
for everyone's listening
This
pleasure that I am edited.
I just love the fact that you were nodding while I was saying that, like people could see that.
Yeah, it's hard to remember sometimes that this is just my voice, but here we are.
Uh, okay, so
I
the next
I
one.
did want to
Oh, did you have
highlight
something?
one thing. I just this just popped back into my brain, and because my brain's trash, so we have to go with these moments when they happen. Um, Grand Theft Auto 6's trailer came out.
Yes.
I don't know if you've had a chance to watch it yet, but somebody has done this cap cut where I don't know if cap cut's the right term. I'm trying to be TikTok friendly here, whatever. Anyway, they've done the side by side of the GTA 6 trailer to the actual footage that GTA leveraged. But basically, they took a shitload of clips from actual, like, Florida man type circumstances, wild bits of Florida news, and then recreate it in GTA format, inserting their characters and storylines and all that into this trailer. It is fantastic. I it Every bit of it just made me laugh. It excited me. The game's not out till 2025. I'm endorsing it already. I'll buy a copy gladly. You don't have to sponsor us, but if you want to, I'll allow that. Rockstar Games, one of my favorites. And for them to do this, icing on the cake.
Okay, well, icing on the cake is pretty close to what's going to happen in the next story.
Oh.
And this is from, they don't give the guy's name. I'm going to paraphrase this, but a Bradenton, Florida man reported to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office that he woke up to a stranger in his house inspecting his toes
Oh. Oh.
on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Um, the guy apparently was looking to see which toe was the right toe to suck.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. This
Yes.
makes me.
Yes.
Oh, I feel so dirty. Oh my god.
You just thought, oh, he's looking at his toes. Is he looking at his cuticles? Is he going to give him a pedicure? What's he doing? He's going to try to suck on one of his toes. Oh my god!
I mean,
That was your
I know,
reaction.
but it was. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm good. Ooh. Mm.
yeah. So, no, I don't want a toe sucking for Christmas.
Thank God.
That better not be under my Christmas tree. I'm just saying.
If that's how would that be under? Oh, we'll hire this guy to hide under your Christmas
He
tree.
is not named. We cannot hire him.
Yeah, I'm sure we could figure it out.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over to Reddit now because Reddit always has the best of the
Reddit
best.
is quality.
And so I'm gonna read this one word for word because I can't do it justice any other way. So, a few years back, I went to my dad's house for Christmas. My parents are divorced and I rarely go, but my siblings put a lot of pressure on me, so I went. It took about 15 minutes before the stress got into me and I got a migraine. So, we all sit down to open presents: dad, his new wife, my siblings, crazy aunt, and my grandmother. We make it around the circle opening presents for about 2 rounds before my grandmother gets up and leaves the room. My father starts fiddling around, waiting for my grandmother to come back, and spots something on the floor. It appears to be cat puke. Can you see where this is going?
Oh God.
Okay. So he asks his wife if it is indeed cat puke. She had gotten up and followed my grandmother out, and we knew the truth. It was not cat puke. It was my grandmother's shit. And the lady had shit all over the couch. It doesn't take long before we could smell the shit, and no amount of air freshener was fixing that. Grandma comes back in the room wearing nothing but a blanket around her lower half. The couch is covered with plastic and towels. My little sister is forced to sit next to my grandmother, and we are all expected to sit nicely and open more presents while pretending that my grandmother had not just shit all over the couch. Also, the following day, my tooth exploded. Apparently, I had an abscessed tooth, but I didn't feel a thing the entire time until it exploded because grandma shit on the couch.
Is this in Florida?
Yes, apparently it's in Florida as well.
Oh,
Yes.
what's wrong with Florida? Like,
What's not wrong with
but
Florida?
can somebody just give them a hug so they stop this? Like, so many news stories, like, oh my God, I can't even fathom having a Christmas family excursion with grandma shitting all over everything.
Yep.
Oh God,
Uh,
we've had another episode with shit. I think that a lot of bodily harm going on here. Goodness.
yeah, yeah. Didn't we start this with Knott's Berry Harm? Well,
Mm,
it's now turned into
mm.
Shitberry Farm.
Oh, we're not getting a sponsorship from them anytime
No,
soon.
no, not a chance. You already blew that one when you told them that their rides crippled a 40-year-old man.
Look, look, it it is their fault. Thank you for calling that out. I had not done that earlier. It is their fault, not my body's.
Yeah. Okay, so we got time for one more. As we said in episode 5, we're trying to keep these down to a half an
Yeah.
hour now, so they're a little more compact. Also, I made the joke about editing out 90% of what Ryan says. We don't edit. I only edit out about
Mm,
40%.
rude.
Um, so I'm going to go right into the next one. And I'm going to read this one. It's again an unidentified Florida man back in 2018 decided that it would be a great idea to wave a giant sign and yell about how parents were lying to their children about Santa Claus at a festival of lights in Cape Coral. Basically, the guy had a giant sign saying Santa is not real
Oh,
and was yelling at the top of his lungs in front of all the kids about how their parents were lying to them.
oh.
Now, this is the best horror story because that guy faces no consequences for it. What can you do? He's not doing anything illegal, but every single one of those parents had the worst Christmas they ever
Oh
had
my gosh.
immediately after that.
Imagine how many children melted down just
Oh,
like
yeah.
purely like hearing this guy. He probably had a bullhorn, I'm assuming.
It doesn't say how exactly he got it, got his thing out, but I shouldn't say got his
Yeah, that
thing out.
sounds
I
different.
know where you're going to go with that. He did not expose himself. I don't know how he made his voice loud enough for everybody to hear, but apparently he did this for about 2.5 hours straight.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yeah, that is holiday ruin for so many families in Florida.
Yep. And with that, we wish you a horrible Christmas. No.
It's like Jesus.
You thought I was going to run with that,
Yeah,
didn't
I
you?
did. I didn't know where that was gonna go. Took me way off guard.
May someone come suck your
No,
toes.
no, 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 no. But I,
Hey, there's people that might be into that.
uh,
Don't
ah,
force off avid listeners if we get into toe sucking as a
yeah.
demographic.
I mean, like, okay, then let's ask for feetfinder.com to be our next advertiser. Oh,
Oh, I
Jesus.
got a better one than that. I don't know if it's still out, but there used to be something called
Oh,
ratemypoo.com.
I'm sure that's still I do remember that. I don't know why I know that. I don't know why. Why do I know that? Oh my God, I'm mad at myself.
The only reason I remember that was like 1997, 1998, and all I can remember, one of the captions on one of them was Lord of the Rings. I've remembered that to this day.
So that was the same time frame as like lemonparty.com and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But well, but
Oh.
I do think we should thank our unofficial sponsor, Toys R Us. You can find them at Macy's this year, I believe. And if you really want to, I will stand outside of Macy's and sing the theme song for you. I
Oh, okay. Everybody, please send in emails telling us which Macy's Ryan should stand in front of singing this song, and we will make that happen. There will be video. We will get this done. If
actually,
we get,
yes,
yeah.
I need to fly somewhere anyway to because and this is gonna make me sound bougie, but to maintain my Delta status. So let's do it before the end of the year. I need to fly out and return. Let's go. Let's do this shit.
So if we get 50 people that send us a location, we will pick one of the locations, send Ryan to it. He will get videotaped singing that stupid song in front of Macy's.
Yeah, and maybe if we get 75, I'll go inside and do it in front of the Toys R Us standee that's inside Macy's.
And if we get 100, he will be dressed up as an elf.
And if it's 150, I'll get Jeffrey to be on feetfinder.com. Anyway.
Okay, so the 149th person, we're cutting it off after that. That's it.
You don't want to see a fictitious giraffe on feetfinder.com? I don't even know. Oh, this is spinning into a world of weird.
I mean, we just crashed into the barrier and then got sliced in half by a cyber truck. Good reference to
Well, yeah,
episode
yeah,
five.
it was reference to five. Good
Yeah.
job. Good job. I like that. But um
So, Toys, if you sponsor us, Ryan will be nowhere near Macy's this year.
yeah, that too. Yeah, I'll run with that. I'll like that. But and I won't sing your theme song from whatever the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. But anyway, but I thank you for everyone that's coming on and listening to us. This is Repressed Humor Issues. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts. Send us any of your top 10 lists, ideas, comments, feedback, nasty ideas for Dan, to repressed humor issues with an S at gmail.com, or visit our webpage, repressedhumorissues.com. I'm
And
Ryan.
as this is a Christmas theme
Oh,
episode,
yeah.
before we
Oh
go,
boy.
we should say everybody have a safe and happy Christmas season.
That was so sweet. Oh.
I, I'm not a dick.
Ah.
I mean,
I,
I actually want our listeners to enjoy
yeah.
this and feel like they're a part of this. And you're there. Oh, that wasn't funny. Why didn't you say something about Clown College Boy or something like
Oh,
that?
oh,
No,
there
I'm trying
you
to.
did.
I'm trying to.
You did. You did.
I, I'm just saying. I was trying to be nice, and you're over there. Ashford farts a lot. That's his name right now that he put on the podcast entry thing. I'm Dan, and he's Ashford farts a lot for some reason.
It's going to be something different every single time.
I think this is a new game that we're gonna have to play. Anyways, we're stretching this way longer than the half
Yeah,
an hour
yeah,
that we
yeah,
said
yeah,
that
yeah.
we would do. Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Repressed Humor Issues. I'm Ryan.
I'm Dan.
Have a very sweet and lovely holiday season.
Yeah, and don't be salty.
I was trying to be nice on that one.
Bye.